Going on? What's going on? What's going on? So it's Thursday morning. I'm stuck in traffic, driving to the contract, driving to one of the sites I got driving to work. So stuck in traffic. Been watching the news. Um, not the news, not the fake news, but got information that there's a big protest in Ukraine. Big protest in Ukraine. And from what I understand, the mainstream media is starting to turn on Zelensky, which is very interesting. Zelensky's government and Zelensky himself have gotten so corrupt that the West can't tell him nothing anymore. And Donald Trump is getting frustrated. His administration is getting very frustrated with Zelensky right now. Um, as y'all know, I did a video on the eviction notice with Zelensky. Well, it seems that as the days get closer in that 50 days that Trump uh, put down on Putin is actually backfiring on Zelensky. And Trump does see the fact that, Ukraine can't win. That's clear. That's very clear that Trump sees that very clearly. Trump also sees that Putin is not budging on a ceasefire. Oh, again, Trump has a different concept of I guess what brings about a ceasefire? What brings about a ceasefire? Trump has a whole different concept than Putin and Russia does. Russia has the old school way of making it, meaning we settle this on the battlefield, meaning that we cannot settle this politically, so politically we will settle it on the battlefield. And so a ceasefire in the old school Russians' mind is we will cease fire when we win this war, when we destroy the opposition's government, then we will cease fire because there would be no need for war anymore. Russia is not trying to have a ceasefire while the opposing party is still functioning, while they're still alive, while they're still breathing. There cannot be no ceasefire until the other side is destroyed, that being Zelensky's regime, that being the Alizov regime, whatever you want to call it, the West puppet, whatever you want to call it, they now have to be destroyed. That's the only way for a ceasefire to happen. A ceasefire is not going to happen. Oh, let's pause everything and no, Trump. I don't know what kind of New York nonsense you're talking about. Russia's not going to cease fire to that. So, uh, Donald Trump, uh, like I said, he is clear about Ukraine can't win. He's very clear on that. But I don't know if Donald Trump is trying to pull a New York 3 card. Monty, what is Trump? What are you doing? What is Donald Trump trying to do here? There can only be a ceasefire in death. One of the sides have to go, and it's not going to be Russia. For the simple fact that you're asking Russia for a ceasefire, um, it shows clear dominance, which I don't understand why everybody else is not picking this up. The fact that the West, Europe, Donald Trump has to ask Russia for a ceasefire. I'm not really understanding. If I seem baffled in this video, I always try to understand the other side. And of course, my mind is very limited on things that are not logical. When I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, I short circuit. And I'm short circuiting right now trying to think of What would benefit Russia in a ceasefire? What? Why would Russia cease fire? And I'm thinking Donald Trump, I like Donald Trump. Y'all know I like Donald Trump. I voted for Donald Trump. I like his policies. I like his tariffs. I like the ideas that he has. But when it comes to this Russia situation, it's like, I just, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on, Relax and Talk Sports? I'm just trying to figure out, um, Relax and Talk Sports, help me out, man, because I'm trying to figure out why in the world would Donald Trump, because those people in Europe like Macron and Merz and uh, Starmer, they're idiots. I think they're idiots. I think they're inbred. However, Donald Trump, I've been to Donald Trump's hotel room and I've seen how he runs his business. And I can't for the life of me figure out why Donald Trump would ask Russia for a ceasefire. Could you help me out, Relax and Talk Sports? I'm really, I had to cut the camera on this one. And I know I need to cut the camera more often, man. I ain't been doing shows, but I've been trying to figure out this whole ceasefire. Like, why would Russia ceasefire? Why? Why? And I know the mainstream media, they'd be like, oh, well, Russia, they're losing lives and this and that. Well, if Russia, and granted, they are losing soldiers, right? But if they're losing soldiers and gaining ground, what does that tell you about Ukraine? That just tells me one thing about Sox Sports, that they don't care about the Ukrainian lives. But again, there's a protest going on. And I've spoken on this before. I said it's going to take the Ukrainian people to wake up. And not only has the Ukrainian people woke up, the Ukrainian military is waking up. It's funny how, Rex Talk Sports, how Africa and Ukraine are waking up at the same time. Russia has no reason to stop. Why let them rearm themselves? Relax and Talk Sports. I need your help. You see, we're thinking too much alike. That's too much logic. I need you to focus on the other side. What Trump is thinking, Starmer, Macron. I need you to help me on what they're thinking. You're making too much sense right now. What you just said is logical. Relax and Talk Sports. I need you to I need you to make sense of the other side. I need you to make sense of the other side. That's what I need. I need your help today. If anything, I need help, man. I don't never ask for a whole lot. I don't ask for money. I don't ask, well, I do ask for likes and I do ask for shares, but today I just need help. I've never asked for help like that. And it's just, I've asked like, if any time I need a favor, Relax and Talk Sports, it's now. I need your help now. I just need you to explain the other side because I'm trying to dig deep and trying to understand this. And I'm not like, I'm short circuiting. I'm short circuiting because I cannot find the logic of why would Russia cease fire? Why? And I understand now. You just said, you made a lot of sense. It makes sense that because they want to rearm and help Ukraine. So why? How would that benefit Russia? How does that benefit Russia? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like I understand how it benefits Stomer, Macron, Trump, and all them, the EU, NATO. But how are they presenting this to Russia? Like, okay, Russia, if you guys cease fire, this is how you would benefit. This is the most complicated thought process I think I have ever had in my 52 years of living. I own business. I've owned a business. I've been in relationships. I got grown ass kids. Uh, I've got my health in order. I've worked out. I've done a lot of things in life, but this is the most. I've debated on religion. This is the most difficult thought process I'd ever had in my life. Where does Russia benefit off of a ceasefire? How does the West think they're going to convince Moscow to stop firing? What am I missing? Let's talk sports. What am I missing? What am I missing? Like my brain is short circuiting right now, and I'm trying because I always try to understand the other side. I always try to, in my mind, mentally be the mediator. I try. I really do try. I know I come on here, but this is after the fact. When I come on here and I be talking shit about the other side and be like, man, y'all stupid. This is because I've already assessed the situation, and this is going to be the first video that I didn't pre-assess the situation. I'm coming on here and I'm having an open mind. Like, why would Russia ceasefire? What do they have to gain? Russia is protecting their borders. So Russia's saying, yo, we want to end the war. We want to end. Now, mind you, Zelensky now wants to go to Istanbul, Turkey, and he wants to talk because he knows time is running out, man. The people of Ukraine are starting to wake up. They are starting to wake up and really realize, like, yo, where this has got to stop, And so I believe now the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian military, they're losing their patience with the Zelensky regime. And so now Zelensky is starting to see the writing on the wall. And now he will, oh, now let's talk peace with Russia. Let's talk peace with Russia. I want to negotiate. Now you want to talk because, first of all, you didn't want no negotiations, Zelensky. Now you want to talk. People keep saying that he's a dead man walking. They keep saying that. They keep saying that. So I'm just trying to understand. I mean, I'm really trying to, like talks about, I'm really trying to understand this. I'm really trying. I'm really trying to side with Trump because really Trump is the head of NATO. As much as I don't like Stromer, as much as I don't like Macron, as much as I don't like Merz, this Nazi ass, I don't like these people. I don't like these Europeans. I don't like them. But Trump is at the head. Trump is trying to play good cop, bad cop. He's trying to play the good cop, and the Europeans are the bad cop. But you are in charge of that, Trump. Trump, we come on, Trump. You, come on now, Trump. And you're saying, oh, well, I'm selling them weapons. I'm selling Europe weapons. You're in charge of NATO. We pay for NATO. Trump, cut it out. No more three-card money. No more of that New York slick shit, Trump. Come on now, man. Come on now. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. I remember a time when New Yorkers thought they were the smartest people in the country. And they could run game on people in the South, people on the West Coast. People, if you weren't from New York, they feel like New Yorkers feel like they were superior and they could run game. You can't do that no more, Trump. That died years ago. So all this trying to run game, I hope you're not trying to run game, Mr. Trump. And then you trying to run game on Russia. First of all, you can't run game on us. We're your base. We're MAGA. You know, Trump, you already got some of MAGA upset over the whole Epstein thing. I'm not really tripping on the Epstein thing because I know uh, the Epstein thing is covered up. That whatever evidence they had is gone, and that was gone before Trump even got in office. That was gone. Once they raided, because they raided under Biden. Once those agents went into Epstein Island and took those files, that was it. It was gone. Everything was destroyed. So I'm not tripping on that. A lot of people in MAGA base, they tripping over Pam. They tripping over the whole Epstein thing, and I get it. And Trump's reaction, I get it, but I'm not even concerned about that. I'm concerned about how Trump is trying to run game on Putin. Did I tell y'all I went to school with Russians and Chechens? Did I tell y'all that? Y'all please press the one if I ever told y'all I went to school with you. I basically grew up with Russians. I grew up with them. And Chechens too. Chechens really don't, man. Like Russians are one thing, Chechens are Russians and Chechens, man. I grew up with both of them. And Israelis. I grew up with Israelis too, and I grew up with Mexicans. Y'all press the one if y'all are aware that I grew up with Russians. I grew up with them. Going to school, I grew up with them. In fact, I formed a band with Russians and Chechens. Oh man. What did he say? Hold on. Hold on. I just saw your comment. Uh, Agent Orange said, I have Russians in my family. Zelensky is going to be replaced. Yeah, they're going to replace Zelensky. They're already set. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They're already setting the tone for him to be replaced. They're already, they're already demonizing him. And, you know, Zelensky's making it hard for himself. I really don't want to see Zelensky get 86th. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not a fan of Zelensky, I don't want to see nothing happen to the man. I think the man is funny. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a funny dude. And I don't want to see nothing happen. I don't want to see nothing happen to him. I don't. I don't. Um, but I think the Trump administration wants to bring in a new regime so they can negotiate better with Russia because they like Trump straight up said, man, Ukraine can't win. Y'all press the one in the chat if y'all heard Trump say that. Trump said Ukraine can't win. But y'all already knew that. You guys already knew that. Hell, even Kamala Harris, what her dingbat said was like, Russia is a big country. Oh, Agent Orange. Okay, Agent Orange. I'm glad. Yeah, man. I'm just, oh my God. Yo, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I tell you, yeah, yeah. I'm just so baffled about this whole. Now, I will say this. I understand if we just keep it simple, because I know y'all are like, yo, Black Sun, it's all about money. And I understand Trump, they're somehow with the military industrial complex, they're kicking back to Trump and they're kicking back to Europe to keep this war going. I do understand that. I do understand that. So if y'all are like, Black Sun, come on now, they're making money off this war machine. I do understand that. And this is why I'm glad the Ukrainian people are waking up. Ukrainian people and Ukrainian military, they're waking up. They're waking up fast. I went to school with a Russian girl. She was gorgeous. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Russian women, I'm gonna tell you something, relax and talk sports. Ukrainian women and Russian women, they have big lips. Most of the ones I met. So yeah, they when I first came across the Ukrainian Russian women, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? That's the first thing I noticed, man. They got full lips. That's what I noticed about them because yeah, that's one thing I noticed. But yeah, you know the Russian women and a lot of them, their diet is different. Now I'm not saying all Russian women, because some do become Americanized and start eating junk. I would say this. I'm gonna say this real quick. You can tell the women from other countries because they have a certain shape before they get here. But once they get here, they hit up the Mickey D's and hit up the Burger King and all that, and the Popeyes and the Kentucky. It goes out the window. So, but you know, I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about the Ukrainian people waking up, the military waking up, and I didn't really think it would happen this fast, you guys. Have y'all seen the video where they're protesting in Ukraine? And I don't know how Zelensky's going to contain this without violence. Um, and if he tries to contain it with violence, it's not going to end well for Zelensky. So Zelensky's in a conundrum. He was waiting for Putin and Russia to unravel, in which is no, the Russians they're supporting Putin, the majority of them, and the majority of Ukrainians are not. So they're like, yo, this war is not making sense. Yeah, Russia's attacking us, but a lot of them are going to the core of like, why are we? I guess they're doing their own research. I guess they're realizing the Russian-speaking Ukrainians, something has changed in Ukraine with the people. Something, okay, they can't, never could. This all started with the coup to install Poroshenko. Now we have Zelensky. This is a proxy war by the U.S. intelligence agencies. Agent Orange, right? And I think the Ukrainian people are starting to wake up and realize that. I think the Ukrainian people have already. You know what? Agent Orange. I might be giving the Ukrainian people little credit. I think they already knew this. I think they already knew this, and I think that that's why they have to do a lot of conscripts. They have to kidnap men and force them. They have to snatch them in the van to force them on the front line. And you can't win a war that way. Globalism, Putin is not hip to the idea. I mean, Agent Orange. You know what's so funny, Agent Orange? When we talk about globalism, the first time I've heard the term globalism was through Alex Jones. And it's funny, as you know, because I'm sure you watched Alex Jones before. Alex Jones never had nothing good to say about Putin. And Putin is the number one opponent against globalism. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that ironic? I just find that ironic, man. But shout out to Alex Jones. He'll always tell you, I'm no friend of Putin. I'm no friend of Putin. But it's funny how is the friend of my enemy, or is the enemy of my enemy my friend? Is the enemy of my enemy? Is that the old saying? Is the enemy of my enemy my friend? Is that the saying, y'all? I think that's how they go. Is the enemy of my enemy? Is my enemy of my enemy my friend? Is the enemy of my enemy? I forgot how that term goes, but y'all know the term, man. And it seems like that's what's going down with Alex Jones, man. Shout out to Alex Jones. Damn. So y'all get a homework assignment. And I'm gonna give y'all a homework assignment before I go, man. Let me give a shout out to everybody in the chat, Agent Orange, Black Sox Sports. Y'all, and I know this is a hard, because I might have to pay y'all for this, right? The homework assignment, so when I come on back on here again, is why should Russia do a ceasefire. What is the benefit of Russia doing a ceasefire? How can we convince Russia to do a ceasefire? I know it's a hard assignment. That's why I said I will cash app y'all if y'all can come. Oh God, this is insane. I'm gonna have y'all rack y'all brain and nah, y'all get mad at me because y'all be doing all that hard work for nothing. Because it's a dead end. It's a dead. I wouldn't even ask y'all to. I'm not gonna even play y'all like that. I'm not gonna do like damn Trump. I'm not going to play y'all like that. I'm not going to ask for a cash prize for something that I know that cannot be explained. You cannot rationalize. It's over with. It's a done deal. Hey, Russia ain't no doing no ceasefire, man. Russia's not doing no ceasefire because it don't even make sense. It does not freaking make sense, man. So with that being said, man, let me get going. Let me get in here to get this coffee, man. I'll probably do another video later on. I'm gonna watch the news. I'm gonna watch what's going on. Economic pressure. They are under threat of sanctions. But Agent Orange, aren't they already under sanctions? Russia's already under sanctions, and Russia's economy is actually getting better because of BRICS. So Russia has bypassed the American dollar and gotten with other countries like Brazil, uh, South Africa, Brazil, South America, China, Iran, Korea, North Korea. They've already bypassed that. So they're like, oh, okay, you know what? Okay, and China and all these other. In fact, but quiet as be quick. You know, Europe is still buying that Russian oil, right? Agent Orange. They're just buying it through Turkey. Like Russia sells it to Turkey, and Turkey buys it from. So you know, when they talk about sanctions, you know that would hurt us, right? Because we getting some of that cheap oil too. Because the number one product that comes out of Russia is the oil. Good morning, Chubbs. Hey, Chubbs, what's going on, man? Damn, Chubbs. I'm glad that you're here, brother. The threat of their oil exports being stopped is a big deal. Russia is a petro economy. I understand that, but where else are we going to get the oil? If they stop Russian oil, where's everybody going to get their oil? Yeah, it's a big deal because where's everybody else going to get the oil? Because Turkey, China, Iran, Brazil, you're talking about South Africa, you're talking about major countries. But I'm going to tell you something, Agent Orange. I'm glad you're bringing all this economics up. Ibrahim Traore, Senegal, Mali, you know, Africa, all that, that's why I brought up Africa, is waking up. And another African country, Senegal, kicked the French out after, hey, Prosperity, how you doing? How you doing? They kicked out, they kicked out the French after 65 years. So that's another country. Togo, uh, Benin, just stopped by to say, oh, hey, Prosperity, I'm glad, hey, I'm glad, I ain't seen you in a while, Prosperity. I'm glad to hear from you, sis. Glad to hear from you. Yeah, I was about to shut the show down. I got to go in here, but I just wanted to come on here real quick and just try to find a rationale of why Russia, they still screaming that Russia should ceasefire. Like, why? What benefit, like, why would Russia stop doing what they're doing? Why would Russia do that? Why? So I know you guys are smart, but I don't even want to put y'all through the conundrum of trying to figure this out. Because y'all be like, Blackson, the U.S. and NATO, they full of shit. I know that's what y'all thinking. And I'm trying, I'm trying to, I try to look at the other side. I really try to look at the other side, you guys. I really try to mediate and be fair in my mind. I really do try. And there's no rationale. There's no rationale. There's no rationale. None whatsoever. No rationale, none whatsoever, you guys. So I'll be back on here later. Shout out to everybody. Let me get going. Let me get going. I'm out, y'all. Peace.